To thyself be true. Only I write the screenplay that is my life story. Only you have the power to write the screenplay that is your life story. When I was 13 in math class, 1 week in October of the year 2000, we learned about matrix problems. I told my math teacher someday I would make a parody film of the Keanu Reeves movie The Matrix, about a girl like me who hated doing her homework. The story you are about to see is a combination of that blended with a real dream I had in 2015, where my mind rewrote the music of Peer Gynt. As I slept, I saw Alice's Wonderland. And I don't remember the dream too much, but I sure remembered the music, and I wrote it all down when I finished dreaming. Sometimes in this film, we speak dialogue directly from the Alice in Wonderland novel. Sometimes we follow the original tale of Peer Gynt and its trolls. I get married to a troll, right? Or do I? Other times, the story is a metaphor for a diary page ripped out of my own life. As with the original Alice in Wonderland, my version is one big dreamy, nonsensical adventure. What is the difference between troll and man? Could a mushroom really make you grow larger or smaller? Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I, Miss Nicole Russin-McFarland, give you a Peer Gynt Odyssey, The Homework's Revenge, Esther in Wonderland. A tale so exciting, it could only be dreamed up in the mind of a 13-year-old girl.
Why don't Terminators survive with clothes? These clothes are so cute, but I'm going to need something a little bit more, how might we say it, business casual.
What you doing in this story? It's full of carnage, action, and cool stuff. Blockbuster films ain't for tea time, ladies.
Watch your mouth, cigar biker.
Why don't you make a boring feminist movie nobody watches?
If you knew anything, cigar biker, you would know cool blockbuster characters like Sarah Connor are the most feminist characters in cinematic history.
You think you can show up in Hollywood and demand big money financing like you're James Cameron?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I need your clothes for my film meeting today.
You ain't getting nowhere with the film studio executive. He who was once a great film director is now a shadow of his former self.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, and your 1991 Gucci spring collection sunglasses that you tell people you bought at a gas station.
I ain't no Carrie Bradshaw.
My X-ray vision says otherwise. Is that a Louis Vuitton wallet? Is that a size medium Banana Republic t-shirt?
Shut up! You're making everyone stare.
Hey everyone, Tough Guy Cigar Biker has some organic low-carb vegetarian breakfast from the Fred Siegel Cafe in his motorcycle trunk.
Shut up!
Oh.
I said shut up!
I'll shut up when you give me your stuff.
You forgot to say please.
I forgot to say please. Por favor. No one burns a hole in my Hello Kitty sweater.
Oh! 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 Get her off me! Whoa!
Where Sir Peter Jackson filmed The Hobbit.
Yes, sir, and I want to be just like him.
Your film pitch is wonderful. The script, the story, but you're a dime a dozen. I meet talented newcomers all the time. I'm afraid I can only finance filmmakers who have been to Alice's Wonderland.
But I have been to Wonderland. It's been a while, but I have.
You haven't. Nobody can pick up and go to Wonderland. It comes in a dream.
It did to me too, in the year 2015.
James Cameron went to Wonderland when he dreamed of the Terminator, a war of humans against machines. Inception? An idea from a real dream. I can't give you this much money without proof.
Well, sir, there's a way I can actually show you. It's through a looking glass. A mirror, actually.
Show me.
I dreamed in Peer Gynt. And I also visited Wonderland. As I slept, my mind rewrote the music to Peer Gynt. And it was just the weirdest, coolest thing imaginable. So, sir, look into my looking glass. To thyself be true. Maybe for other people, Wonderland is about Terminators or multiple dreams within dreams within dreams. But for me, Wonderland is always about music. Do you like Manhattan, sir?
Absolutely. Several of my movies are set in New York. You weren't lying. You have really been to Wonderland.
Indeed, I have. And look, those are my friends.
Welcome back.
Nice
Hello.
to see you again.
Hello.
Who is that? Who is he?
Hello.
It's you.
My friends are called kami. Kami are mystical creatures from Japanese cinema.
Wonderland presents itself differently to all who visit it. Why do you think that is?
Because it shows you who you really are and who you were meant to be.
Who were you when you had the dream?
I was somebody who really needed this dream more than ever. Like James Cameron, I wanted to transition into being a grand film director, but I didn't know where to begin. And this dream made me see that it was possible.
To thyself be true. The younger you will always know what the adult you should do in life.
Yeah, and I want to do exactly like you did, sir. You did that with your films, and I hope you give me the chance to do it with mine.
Give me your best shot. Let's hear it.
This isn't the film pitch, but this is a story called Esther in Wonderland, about a 13-year-old girl whose dreams made her believe that anything was real.
The funnier the better. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, well, it's gonna be pretty funny. I'm going to imitate the old voice I used to have. I'm warning you, they should do a Brady Bunch episode with girls about a time to change because my voice, it really cracked when I was 13. But here we go. I wish I could say that I was born in Manhattan, like here. But I didn't discover this place until I was a teenager, going to my first MTV Awards. No, I'm from Illinois. Esther, me, I'm from Illinois. And our story begins not in fashionable Hollywood or Manhattan, but in the most boring place on earth, seemingly, the Midwest. The first thing you must know about Wonderland is, no matter how long it's been since your last visit, the magical spiders of this world always remember you. Be careful, gossip travels fast, with all 8 eyes of each spider on us. Since we've gotten here, somewhere in this fictional Manhattan, the spiders are whispering the news. Yeah, about you. He, the film studio executive who has long forgotten his true self, has been brought here once again as my special guest. It may be the lead story in tomorrow's Wonderland tabloids.
He looks different.
Did he get dentures?
No, he looks taller.
No, he looks shorter.
New glasses?
Younger!
Quiet! You're all wrong.
Who are we talking about again?
The film studio executive. We haven't seen him in forever.
Not since he started making movies.
So grown up.
Do you think he remembers us?
I doubt he remembers us.
To understand how Esther in Wonderland became Alice in Wonderland, one must know who Esther was. When I was 13, me, let's call fictional version of my younger self Esther, TRL was the most popular TV show in the United States. MTV back then played real music videos. Music television. It was a magical experience seeing people not much older than you and your classmates doing what you dreamed of professionally, living and working in Manhattan and LA, making movies, making music. Either you watched TRL after school, or you recorded it on your VHS player to watch it before school the next day. I, or should I say Esther in the story, did both. On this morning of this tale, Esther watched yesterday afternoon's TRL over a delicious hot bowl of oatmeal and cinnamon. Something unusual was happening with the guest, Lil Livable. Esther noticed as he moved, he was in the process of becoming a shadow of his former self. Was that something that was supposed to be happening to everyone as they grew more successful in Hollywood, Esther thought?
Welcome back to TRL, everyone! That was Eminem at number 6 on the countdown for a second week.
We're live in Times Square with a special guest who flew across the pond. All the way from England, please welcome America's favorite posh rapper, Little Liverpool.
Is it true you wrote all your raps on this album as you graduated from Oxford University?
Word, homies. During my doctorate, yo. My first mixtape about my astronomy thesis got in the hands of Dr. Dre.
Your new album is da bomb.
The first single. What inspired that?
A horrible day. Worst day of my life.
Give us the 411.
That morning, my girlfriend and I split bananas when I learned she gave David Beckham a back rub. I left my home in Bel Air in my best suit, all British gentleman-like, to IHOP homies, and a tourist from Iowa asked me for directions. He thought I was American, dressed in my flashiest waistcoat and Cartier watch. Then I went shopping on Rodeo Drive, and the salesman tried to sell me, like, clothes for middle-aged American dads with beer stomachs driving, like, minivans full of children.
What? Alright, which producers did you work with for the album?
Kanye West said my lyrics were too arrogant, so I fired him. Darkchild said I shouldn't rap about being rich and posh, so I fired the loser. Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo were too nice, so I fired them for no reason. I fired everyone and produced it myself.
Impressive! brother, we got your back here at MTV. Ready to premiere your new video?
Off the chain. His waistcoat, British man in America. It made as I drink. Oh, great, I'm hardcore. Drink tea all day.
Then it was time for school. A good number of Esther's teachers were better than the university professors she had later on. Others took the job for summers off, and it was pretty evident. Some noticed, and many of Esther's classmates never did because Esther was convinced they were actual zombies.
Dad, why do I have to go to school?
To learn things.
But I don't learn anything at this school. Half of the teachers don't care about teaching the students at all.
Your university won't know that.
Viel Glück heute. Ich habe dir ein besonderes Mittagessen eingepackt.
Thanks. Was ist Ihnen?
Es ist ein Geheimnis.
I don't feel like teaching today. Today, we're covering Illinois history. Blah, blah, blah. Has anyone ever seen Abraham Lincoln, the sitcom? No? Okay, I'm gonna play it right now, class. Enjoy. Figure out your homework assignment on your own and read 200 chapters in your textbook tonight for tomorrow's quiz.
That woman scares me. Well, my cure is to get drunk. My legs are too frightened to pay any attention to liquor. Mrs. Lincoln.
I don't see how anybody can talk in here with all this smoke. I'll have to talk to you later.
Very sorry, Mike. There, no apologies. You've given me an idea. I may take up smoking myself.
Esther got invited to the Halloween party that morning. Your social life at school is definitely important. Who needs studying?
I'm having a Halloween party this weekend. Here's your official invite.
I'm gonna be Super Mario. My brother is Luigi. My sister's Toad. What is your costume? No, really, what is it?
Science class was kind of annoying that day because you know how there's always a weird girl in school who's trying to get people in trouble, or a weird boy just making up stuff and ratting on you? The weird girl made up a story about Esther cheating on a quiz. It wasn't true because I, that is Esther, never needed to cheat on a quiz. I always got correct answers, and my problem was I didn't like homework. But the teacher kind of believed it.
That's not what I was told. No, you can't change your seats until next semester. I'm keeping my eye on you.
Don't you think Jane is ugly?
No.
Don't you think Jane is ugly?
Please, I need to finish my math homework for next
Okay,
period.
you just agreed Jane is ugly.
No, we didn't.
Can I borrow your mascara?
No. Your dad is like the department store manager. He can afford to buy you a mascara with his discount.
Esther is cheating on her quiz.
Why are you changing the answers when grading your quiz?
Why don't you care about getting straight A's? You're a smart cookie. If you can do this well at school without turning in half of your homework, you might not believe me, but someday you will see that some of the things you learn at school are important for any job. Maybe you'll fall into another dimension. Have a good rest of your day, Esther.
No running in the hallway!
Did you see The Matrix? That was cool. A real Matrix is not. I would love to stay and teach you how to do your homework about matrices, but I'm going on a date with Miss Berry to the classroom next door. Figure it out on your own. See you guys tomorrow.
Good morning. I am your substitute teacher. I don't know anything about this class, so I can't help you about your homework assignments. The teacher said, watch this movie and figure out the homework on your own.
Should have thought of this in the first place. This is much better than any nightclub. What are you so startled about? Although I guess with me it was a little easier. Because half only legally dead. You see, I need money. A lot of it.
Esther started an underground black market for selling answers, and a bunch of people were talking about their earnings. This morning also sucked because Esther got demoted from her first flute chair, which Esther, had won fair and square, doing one very awesome Speed Chromatics audition. What was wrong with Mr. Smith?
I'm putting my earnings in my piggy bank and getting an ice cream sandwich for lunch.
Oh, we earned a lot today. I'm getting the ultimate black skirt I saw at the mall. I'll probably wear it when I skip school next Monday.
Hey, the pencil
pencil stuck on the ceiling.
Hey, that's cool. Let me try.
Can you give Jared this note?
Why?
I'm breaking up with him. For our 2-week anniversary, he gave me a plastic X-Men bracelet from a vending machine.
Can I write a note back and you give it to her that I broke up with her first? Hey, it's my reputation we're talking about.
You work hard on creative extra credit assignments, but you never seem to practice anything for music class.
No, sometimes I practice this stuff from class. I mean, you can see on my practice sheet. Look at it, Mr. Smith. It's full of 5-minute practice sessions on Mondays, and there's that time on Thursday when I practiced for 1 minute. I wrote down 1 minute in my paper.
I can see that you didn't practice enough on your practice sheet this month.
Yeah, well, you know what, Mr. Smith? I'm going to be a really important movie director who's also an important film score composer, writing the music to my movies. And you and all these super cool teachers at this school and everywhere are going to teach people the music that I write. And it's going to be really cool and actually good. And I mean, I don't mean actually good. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. I mean that.
Taking away your first chair position in the flute section, go sit at the end until next semester.
Why are you sitting here now?
Mr. Smith took away my first flute chair because of, get ready for it, attitude problem. Who does he think he is? Okay, whatever. I was born with no eyebrows and an attitude problem, but that's beside the point. I call it confidence. He calls it an attitude problem. You know what I said? I told him the truth. I'm going to be a very important movie director who's also a very important film score composer, and I don't have to practice because I'm already really good at music. And all those chicks right there, the ones who wear way too much hair gel, look at them. It's like, look at them in their frosted eyeshadow and hair gel. None of them actually care about music. Now it's like you can barely hear me when I play flute. By the way, I really like your Indiana Jones hat. It's so cool.
Thanks. What if you made an Indiana Jones movie?
I wish Steven Spielberg would give me one, but I don't think he will. I don't think that I could ever make one.
Yeah, you could.
Are you serious?
Steven Spielberg made like one movie before the first Indiana Jones, and he became an important movie director.
I am going to make an Indiana Jones movie, and I'll wear a hat like yours when I do it. How many movies do you think it'll take to make an Indiana Jones movie, you know, like for me to be an important movie director?
Probably 4.
Wow.
Maybe 5 movies.
Esther's classmates' advice is the same advice that everyone gives me, up to today, actually. Be more like Steven Spielberg, following in his footsteps, retracing his footsteps, and downright copying. The funny thing, though, is lots of young people, aspiring filmmakers, first-time filmmakers, ask the gentleman lots of questions. And Mr. Spielberg's real advice is make the movie only you can make. So why is the world so obsessed with copying him? I've seen other directors say the same thing. Be original, be creative, be yourself, and nobody wants to listen to any of them. I always felt like I only care about music, movies, and food. I love going to restaurants and eating grilled cheese and tomato soup. It's one of my favorite meals in the world. I also love going to movies and eating popcorn and having a diet soda. It's so much fun. I know the story takes place in the year 2000, but if we may jump ahead 1 year into the future, 2001, I'd like to tell you about a super cool gentleman who made me believe that I could do whatever I wanted. A gentleman who came from the other side of the world to become a king of Hollywood, Sir Peter Jackson. When you grow up a million miles away in Illinois, you think that Hollywood is another world. Only certain people, Steven Spielberg, any of those best director winners you see, those are the people in a small circle who get to make blockbusters and the movies that you love. And while, yeah, I love Steven Spielberg, and I love James Cameron and all these people, when I was 13 in the year 2000, it was a little hard seeing myself doing those things, I had to admit, because nobody came from the middle of nowhere. And yes, in those days before we had hipsters, the Midwest was the middle of nowhere. It didn't matter if you were in downtown Chicago. People thought you were a farmer with a toothpick and not a wide-eyed girl leaving a movie theater dreaming of what if, what could be, as I often did. or in Springfield, Illinois, or anywhere I ever was. So yeah, that's who I was. But in the year 2001, something very magical happened. A jolt. I saw someone with his girlfriend come from a place that you could say some viewed back then as the middle of nowhere. And he made the most awesome trilogy since Star Wars. The Lord of los Anillos. Who is that? I said to myself, my younger self. And I found out he's a man who had such self-confidence that he was able to do what people said was the impossible. And at the time, they were saying, he better move to Hollywood. He better not stay in New Zealand. He doesn't know what he's doing. Look what happened. He built an entire business around everything he loved, because filmmaking and film scores and everything in between, all of that is a business. It's not a crazy creative world like people make it look. That's why I admire the men I do. But for me, when I was 14, in the year 2001, that's all it took. The jock's always well advised, Esther. If you didn't study last night, sit next to the kids who did, and they will talk about studies. So that's what Esther did. Yeah, and today, this day in history, Esther was kicked out of the school library. So she not only could have been writing graffiti outside, or worse, or breaking the law with her friends. The school librarian thought studying was bad.
Do what all we as jocks at school do. Loiter somewhere near people who spent all last night studying.
The nerds always talk about boring study stuff before a quiz. Do you think I would have been a state champion basketball player if I'd spent all my time studying? When I grow up, I want to join the NBA, not a medical research institute.
Do you know how to do anything with a matrix? This is a moment you wish Keanu Reeves were here. He would know what he's doing. He's good at everything.
Fish sandwich. Again.
I like fish. And it's not shellfish, because shellfish would be icky and gross. And actually, most fish is gross. This is cod, and it's not gross.
Plus, it feels good like a warm pizza slice.
Did you hear Mr. Jones wears a toupee?
Oh, wow. My uncle wears a toupee. It looks like a mustache on his head.
It fell off in class. I wasn't there. It was the class before mine. People say it moved around like a slug.
What? Really?
Esther, why are you always doing homework at lunch?
Because I can't take it home. I want to have a life.
Okay. One of these days, please chill and leave it for home. You're so uptight. Live a little.
Saw that go in science class with my little brother. Has he bothered you lately? He is not nice. You don't know the real him. My fantasy is starving a bunch of alligators in the Everglades on Slim Fast for 6 months, then feeding them my little brother.
I cannot believe Chris ends up with Wilma in the end, and then Earl at the last minute.
It's lunchtime. You cannot be in the library.
We aren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, we're studying.
I don't care.
I need to finish my schoolwork, or I'm never, ever gonna have a really good Halloween party costume, because I need to go to the mall after school today.
At this school, homework is done at home.
Maybe I want to have a life. Esther's classmates had an ingenious plan. You know those super nerdy types who were so into their advanced placement studies that they become actual robots? The cool kids thought maybe if they played the most popular song on TRL by Lil Liverpool in gym class, filled with filthy words you couldn't play on the radio, that the robots might have fun and turn into real students again, real kids. Esther, of course, being great with computers and a music nerd, supplied her friends with all the latest songs with explicit lyrics on burned CDs.
Can you get us the CD for Waistcoat, British Man in America, the uncensored version? We're going to play it in gym class.
Yeah! Mrs. Fitness is always playing her dumb Jazzercise CD.
You won't get in trouble.
Nobody will know you did it. It's between us.
Who's ready to jazzercise?
Not me, I hate jazzercise.
Buns of steel tape? My abs already look like steel for working out once to the VHS.
Sweating to the Bodies by Richard Simmons is so much better than anything you're playing.
Absolutely not. A Richard Simmons video is too Beverly Hills for this school. No. will one of you pop in my Golden Girls Jazzercise mixtape 1994 CD? The last memory of our relationship. He got to keep the Janet Jackson mixtape in our prenup. So sad. I'll be right back, kids. Got it?
I love this song.
LA lasses wear too much slack. Sephora, you look like LA lads are too dressed down. Oh, Navy, I ain't no clown. A tourist bloke said today, hey, local, is Beverly Drive that way? I said, Q. I wear waistcoat to IHOP. Yankee, no, I'm a man of style. Burberry tie, socks Argyle. Fake teeth, crooked smile, £10,000 in my pocket. They stole my car, I forgot to lock it. Aston Martin, I can buy another. Bad rap songs make me rich. To get no sun, skin like cocoa. LA people feel like toast. He wants us look back. I'm British, I read books and you can say I love English lit. Shakespeare, Dickens, Tolkien down. I read my books at the mall. I order fish chips and your chips are crisp. Your NBA stars are too tall. I eat bangers and mash. So
what in the world is this filth? Oh!
Actually, it's a really popular song, and it's not Philip. It's #1 on TRL right now.
You did this. I know you did it, you little brat. You're coming with me to the principal's office.
I'm really sorry that you think I burned that CD, but it's impossible that I would have done it because I don't know how. I have never burned a CD in my life.
Is that so? Your music teacher said you burned a CD of disco tunes for him when he was going through which ABBA songs the band should practice.
I mean, I did for Mr. Smith, but he knew and he taught me, and it's impossible anyway because last night I was volunteering.
Volunteering? Where?
At the place where people volunteer. You know, like with sick people and presents.
Sick people? You mean a hospital with presents?
Yes, the gift shop.
A gift shop at the hospital?
Because my dad works at the hospital and there were sick people there.
I believe you burned the CD and provided the explicit rap song.
Well, you know, say that I knew how to burn a CD, and I barely do. I only listen to classical music.
Really? The gym teachers would never listen to such horrible music like that.
Oh, believe me, they do. One time, I heard all these gym teachers in the parking lot outside Walgreens when I was getting some new lip gloss, and they were blasting DMX.
I know you did it.
No, I didn't. I would have never done that. I would have never, ever done that. I don't even like music, so,
you know... You did it, and I cannot prove it, but I know you did it. I'm going to catch you one of these days.
I don't like music, like, you know.
You did it. If any evidence is found, I will give you in school suspension. You better not be in my office the rest of this week.
Okay, I promise not to be back in this office today. But I hope that you will understand that I didn't do this, and this has been a very productive meeting. Thank you. I have to go back to studying now. I really don't remember what the next class was. I'm sorry, I don't. After whatever that was, came English. And that was the day Esther's teacher made everyone announce their super important grown-up career moves and laughed at Esther for being honest about hers. Then came Spanish, a cool class that Esther actually liked, dinner, and not doing her homework.
I'm going to be a rock star, living in Malibu with a giant swimming pool.
I will be a kindergarten teacher.
I'm going to be a pharmacist.
Esther!
I wish I could be like James Cameron and make big deal movies, winning Oscars for them. And that in one night I could have a Best Original Score Oscar and a Best Director Oscar, and also have some really cool music that I put on TRL and MTV and stuff.
Sorry, this is one of the funniest things.
Why is a raven like a writing desk? Bzzz.
En que se parece un cuervo a un escritorio?
Bzzz. Read the book your great aunt gifted you, and you shall know the answer. Bzzz.
Estoy hablando con un insecto.
My dad says I can't come to the Halloween party unless I finish all of my homework.
What? You know, you should stop and lie to your dad and tell him you did the homework, then go to the Halloween party and have fun with all of us, because really, nobody's gonna care that you did your homework when you are a really important dermatologist legando.
Me? Seriously, why don't you do your homework?
Because I test really well, and when you get A+ on all of your quizzes and tests, you don't have to turn in half your homework, and you can still end up with a B- at worst, but usually like an A- or a B+. On TV, they're going to play Terminator.
You've already seen that movie.
And then after Terminator, they're going to play Terminator 2. And then after Terminator 2, I think Men in Black and a whole bunch of movies. So I kind of booked for tonight. I'm not doing my homework.
You can try. Talk to you later.
The next day at school, Esther thought she heard her classmates performing Peer Gynt. It was on their homework assignment that year in the orchestra class. In band class, Esther felt like she was always getting handed the boring marching band assignments, and she loved listening to their practices, so she decided, hey, why not? Let's skip a little bit of science class since my teacher hates me anyway, and listen to Peer Gynt. The thing about Peer Gynt, if I may tell you, when you hear it performed by a live orchestra, including if it's a little inexperienced student orchestra, Peer Gynt can transport you to another dimension. It flows through the air. It's amazing and beautiful as an experience. But when Esther got to the auditorium and opened the door, she was scared out of her mind. There weren't any kids there, no teachers, not a janitor. The people who were there weren't people at all. They were evil troll spirits from the other dimension, communicating with her with giant jaws and teeth that she had never seen. She didn't understand anything, but she understood one thing. She wanted more of it, because Wonderland is just like fame, money, power, greed. Just as somebody on Wall Street may be wanting more and more and more, Esther wanted more of Wonderland. She wanted to know what was on the other side. Her instincts told her to run away. Run far away, Esther, from those trolls. Nothing good can happen to you. But seduced by the music of Peer Gynt, she chased the white rabbit directly into Wonderland.
Good morning, Esther.
Good morning.
Get to class.
Thank you, I will.
Alice was beginning to get very tired of being at school and of having nothing to do.
What?
Well, nothing she liked.
Am I going crazy? I'm hearing voices in my head.
Once or twice, she had peeped into a school book her teachers had assigned, but they had no pictures or conversation in them. And Alice thought, what is the use of a book with no pictures or conversations?
Exactly.
So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could. For the October days, winds and boring school time made her feel sleepy and stupid. Where the pleasure of practicing making music beats after school would be worth the trouble of not falling asleep in her next class.
Oh, shut up. You would sleep too if you were bored.
When suddenly, a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her.
I'm late. I'm late!
There was nothing so very remarkable in that. Nor did Alice think it out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be late.
But when the rabbit actually took a watch, why, the Mad Hatter's character watch out of its waistcoat pocket.
Oh no.
Waistcoat? Why, yes, like the popular song on MTV, Waistcoat, British Man in America.
I'm not Alice.
Out of his waistcoat pocket. Alice started to her feet.
With burning curiosity, Alice ran after the rabbit and fortunately was just in time to see it pop down a rabbit hole in the school's auditorium orchestra pit. In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
I'm late. I'm late!
Late for what? Who are you?
I'm late.
Late for what? Everyone is always late. Have you ever heard of being fashionably late to a party?
I'm late.
And so what? Where are you going?
I'm late. Jump into the unknown.
I can't. I'm not gonna fall down an open black space of nothingness.
You can. Like Indiana Jones said, take a leap of faith. You thought the Matrix wasn't real, did you? There is no going back now unless you know how to solve a Matrix math class problem.
Why aren't my lips moving? I thought The Matrix was a super cool action movie. I didn't know it would be this animated stuff. I think you're crazy. You're mad.
Round and round we go. The faster the merry-go-round moves, the closer we grow. But who am I talking to? You never do your homework.
That isn't true. I do my homework once in a while. I practice 1 minute on my band class homework.
To Wonderland, here and fro. Are you growing dizzy yet?
Yes.
My dear Alice, get set.
For what? I'm already going mad. My thoughts, my lips aren't moving, and yet you and I communicate with ESP or something? Oh no. Where am I?
Chase me through the maze, and you'll be in a daze.
Oh, I am in a daze. I'm following a white rabbit. That was only cool in The Matrix when Neo did it. I don't think that it's working out for us. Hey, where are you going? Where am I going? Hall of Mirrors. This is so confusing. I didn't ask for this, you know? You know, if I wanted to read Alice in Wonderland in Espanol, I think I would read it in English or not read it at all because I don't do my homework.
Soar with me. Above the clouds is where we flee. Fly we do, buzzing like bees. Above Chicago, there are no trees. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Is the riddle of he. Who's he? Not me. The Mad Hatter. Certainly. His parties are mad fun. Yes, made with glee. You are invited, my dear, to join us for tea. Earl Grey, of course, with cake, crackers, and cheese of brie. Follow my lead, and you will see. But remain too long, and Father Time will steal your colors permanently.
how is your spaghetti?
The pasta's excellent tonight. Have y'all seen Chris lately?
I did see Chris yesterday. He has a new film idea about saving the future after visiting Wonderland again.
I miss Walt so much. He was my favorite.
Everyone does. We still have Ridley, Sam, and all of our other friends coming often.
Why don't humans believe we are real?
Shh! Stop it!
It's true. Humans are greedy.
They only care about making money, never making money as they have fun.
Too bad most humans don't understand. Your work makes the most money when you have the most fun.
And then the audience has fun. Fun for everyone.
The great question certainly was, what?
Alice looked all around her, at the flowers and the blades of grass.
There was a large mushroom there that looked the same height as herself.
When she looked under it, she might as well see who was on top of it.
She peeped over the edge of the mushroom.
She stretched herself up on tiptoe.
Her eyes immediately met those of a large caterpillar.
The caterpillar was smoking a fake film prop cigarette. What? Of course, we don't smoke real ones in animated films. Real cigarettes cause lung cancer.
Esther was halfway becoming Alice. She felt her identity being removed from her without knowing why, and in every nook and cranny, she heard that music, the entire score of Peer Gynt. In a strange world where she was now made small by the white rabbit taking her through the maze, Alice was relieved to finally meet the caterpillar, someone who finally did not speak in rhyme. Gosh. Sir, Mr. Caterpillar, smoking is terrible for your health. Mr. Why am I here in Wonderland anyway?
Why you?
Yes, why me?
Because you are meant for something greater, busy bee. Until you find the real you, you will never see.
See what?
I will tell you what. When I become a butterfly, I will make you normal-sized again.
How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour, and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillfully she builds her cell, how neat she spreads the wax, and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In works of labor or of skill, I would be busy too. For the wicked man downstairs finds some mischief still for the idle hands to do, in books or work or healthful play. Let my first years be past, that I may give for every day some good account at last. Against Idleness and Mischief by Isaac Watts. Alice waited until springtime. You see, when the caterpillar left his cocoon, he held his promise. As a butterfly, she grabbed a ride from him to grow larger. They flew around as she ate a piece of the mushroom, and she slowly grew bigger and bigger with each lap around the magical garden. And she was wrong. He also spoke in rhyme, and so did, she would learn, everyone at the tea party. The butterfly recited a parody of the poem I spoke to you a moment ago. Alice had no memory how she got to the tea party, though, only knowing somehow she did.
How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail, and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale?
Alice said nothing. She had never been so contradicted in her life before, and she thought that she was losing her temper.
How cheerfully he seems to grin. how neatly spreads his claws and welcomes little fishes in with gently smiling jaws.
Are you content now, said the caterpillar. Well, I should like to be a little larger, so if you wouldn't mind, said Alice. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be. It is a very good height indeed, said the caterpillar angrily, rearing itself upright as it spoke. It was exactly 3 inches high. This time Alice waited patiently until it chose to speak again, and a minute or two the caterpillar took the cigarette out of its mouth and yawned once or twice and shook itself. Then it got down off the mushroom and crawled away in the grass, merely remarking as it went, one side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter. One side.
I'm late! What did I miss? Gossip? Betrayal? Tales of the Mad Hatter's kiss?
Who's your guest? What is her quest?
She cares not for learning schoolwork, but any MTV rap diss.
Does Alice know of the Mad Hatter? Does she like his cake better?
She cannot eat the cake, and it's not batter now. The cake looks perfectly baked.
Thank goodness she agrees. Earl Grey tea is bliss.
Here, have a cup. Drink it slowly so you will not hiccup.
That isn't the answer, in fact. Have some cake for your intestinal tract.
A raven is like a wooden writing desk because both are composed of organic materials, themselves composed of tiny atoms that combined always form the right answer scientifically. Science is always correct, like mathematics or music. Now, if you'll excuse me, I don't enjoy being late to my own tea party, for I am not the White Rabbit.
Alice recognized the Mad Hatter. He was Lil Liverpool, the posh rapper from MTV. But here in Wonderland, he was his true self, speaking in a different voice. No shadow in sight. Was this the other side of his personality? The real him before he became famous, now trapped forever in Wonderland? The Mad Hatter took Esther into the movie screening room frozen in time, for he was to teach her that without equating yourself with your true self, you will never find success. Father Time could keep Esther in Wonderland forever.
Your hair wants cutting, said the Mad Hatter.
He had been looking at Alice for some time with great curiosity.
And this was his first speech.
You should learn not to make rude, personal remarks, Alice said with some severity.
The Mad Hatter opened his eyes very wide on hearing this.
But all he said was, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" For he was truly mad.
He had forgotten he had already given away the answer to the riddle.
He began to explain to Alice about Father Time.
Stalling, procrastinating, whatever you call it, the definition shall be. Now is the only time to get started on your career dreams, see? If you knew time as well as I do, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's a him. Father Time is his name. I dare say you never spoke to Time. Father Time, the trickster, trapped me here in Wonderland.
Trapped in time. The Mad Hatter belongs to me.
Perhaps you don't know Time, but you know you have to beat time when you learn music. Father Time won't stand beating. Now, if only you kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you'd like with the clock.
I don't believe you, or you would have been helped by him. Why are you on his bad side anyway?
We quarreled last March, just before the White Rabbit went mad. It was at a great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to rap. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. You know the song, perhaps? It goes on in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse when the Queen jumped up and bawled out, "He's murdering the time, off with his head!" And ever since that, Father Time won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now. Always tea time. We've no time to wash the things between whiles.
I don't have time to be a great filmmaker. Okay? I need to get out of here. Please.
Many make great films. Many have the technical skills. They don't enter the exclusive club. Who amongst your world you wish to be in thinks for themselves? Yes, the men you want to be like. Alice, say what you mean. To mean what you say is not the same thing.
Is it? It takes a lot of time to actually do these things. Do you think I can pull out a movie just out of my hair?
You have returned to another time to learn about making time in a place without time. Make the time to change your future time.
Okay, and if I stop procrastinating, how do I get out of here? How do I build a career? By the way, am I really Alice? I don't think I am.
A little hard work each day is time well spent. Do as Walt did. Keep moving forward. You may be unable to change your past. You can always change your future. Here is your magic train ticket. Keep it safe. You will understand where the train leads when the Cheshire Cat beckons. The destination is unique to you.
The Queen of Hearts was seated on the throne.
In her kingdom were all sorts of little birds and little beasts,
as well as a whole pack of playing cards.
And the White Rabbit was her spokesman.
He always had a trumpet in his hand.
But today was no trial.
Not a day for stealing tarts.
The Queen of Hearts had something else in store for Alice.
Never trust the White Rabbit. Never follow him. You will go to Wonderland, and he will lead you to the most dangerous woman there, a tyrant, the Queen of Hearts. Alice found herself dragged into the Queen's chambers one day after she followed the White Rabbit again, as he left the tea party.
You think it's no coincidence you made it here to Wonderland? I, the Queen of Hearts, don't allow any mere serfs into my royal chambers. You are a very special girl. As your new best friend and mentor, I cannot wait to introduce you to the trolls. If you marry the Troll King's son, you become a troll. You can't be successful in Hollywood without marrying a troll, can you? No, you cannot. You are female. As my BFF, I shall marry you to the most handsome 13-year-old troll boy in all of Troll World, the Mountain King's son, named Edvard.
I look so good in a tuxedo, Father.
Son! Fetch the cake toppers! Get the wedding planner! We cannot afford for this Alice human bride to get away like the last one.
Without a troll husband's name to make you famous first? Cherish the idea, love. Keep dreaming your insignificant, silly human girl dreams. The wedding invitations have already been mailed out. Look, a wedding invitation.
I always cry at troll weddings. Why? We feel sorry for the human brides who only do this to help their careers.
The guests are already at the Troll Chapel. Join us, Troll Princess. You said you wanted to be like the men you admire in Hollywood. There is no going back. When you leave my palace, you will be a happy bride. When all else fails, bury your sorrows and your achievements made possible through a troll husband. Your only escape from your troll marriage fate is within this riddle.
What's the difference between troll and man?
What separates humankind from the glorious trolls?
Ha! Did you ever really believe you were a good person, Esther?
Why, Esther, in human land people say, to thyself be true. Trolls say, be true to yourself. And who cares whose toes you step on to get there?
You've been a troll in your heart all your life.
Unless you discover your real self, you will never be released from your marriage. Before you go, I will be needing your name. You will have a new name as the Mountain King's daughter-in-law when you become famous as his silent, opinionless arm candy.
Shh! What was that? A cat? The cat grinned when it saw Alice.
It looked good-natured, she thought.
Still, it had very long claws and a great many teeth.
So she felt the Cheshire Cat ought to be treated with respect.
The Cheshire Cat Swamp. In Scandinavia, though, legends call the Cheshire Cat the Fosse Grim, a mythological beast, luring people into the water with the sounds of Peer Gynt on a violin. Those legends were false. The Cheshire Cat, this beautiful gray marble tabby cat, was beautiful inside out, of a true heart. He aided many in escaping Wonderland, hardly a wicked spirit. He was a precious ghost.
I transported you here.
Who are you?
Who are you?
My name is Esther, or Alice, I can't remember. Alice.
I know who you are, but do you know who you are?
Of course I know who I am. I'm Esther, I said. That's my name.
No, it is not. The Queen of Hearts stole your real name.
You're mad.
We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad. But in madness lies clarity.
I'm absolutely not mad.
I know you are mad, or you wouldn't have come here. You may have seen a cat with a grin. Never will you see a grin without a cat. For one must be a Cheshire Cat to grin.
I don't understand. Why do you always speak in riddles? I thought cats said meows.
Where to go from here? That depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I'd like to get out of Wonderland.
With that attitude, you will get somewhere great, but you should not settle for that.
Really? I love my life. At least I think so.
Try on a catitude like mine, and I shall show you how to arrive where you truly want to go.
For somebody who's so mad, you sound very happy right now giving me directions.
A dog growls when mad and wags his tail when happy. I wag my tail when I'm angry and growl when I'm happy. For I, the Cheshire Cat, am mad.
Well, little kitty, why don't you purr for a change?
You call it purring. I call it growling.
I call it purring.
Since you do not know who you are, who do you want to be?
I want to be Peter Jackson, maybe a little bit of other people.
Very well. We must swim to Walt's castle.
Walt. Yeah, I think I said somebody else's name, didn't I? By the way, how do I get there? Laughing mermaids. Don't tell me. One of those girls, her name is Ariel, right? And her little sidekick friend, Sebastian. You're not winning me any points here, Mr. Cheshire Cat. You see, I told you who I wanted to be. I like James Horner. I like Hans Zimmer. I am telling you right now. Where are you taking me? If I wanted to be like Walt, I would have done that from, well, the day I was born. Don't you think? Seems there's no use in arguing. You were ignoring everything I'm saying. Fine. Let's swim to Walt's castle. We'll go along with it, and then you better take me where I need to go. Where are we?
We are in the 1920s, inside a Laugh-O-Gram cartoon. I would like to watch you draw some funnies.
It's a little funny because I don't feel like drawing funnies. I want to leave Wonderland.
So curious, little you, chock full of curiosity, paying your first visit to a cartoon studio. Laugh-O-Grams were Walt's first cartoons he made in Kansas City.
And what happens next? Where does this end?
My dear, you should know the answer. Haven't you seen Pinocchio? We go inside the whale. What you will see will make any girl's heart flutter.
No, I do not want to go in the whale. Please. We're going in the whale.
The world must fall in love with the real you first. Anyone can make a cheap movie about friends at the coffee shop. Only animation will let people into your heart.
But I want to make live-action blockbusters like Lord of the Rings, or these big movies.
From here, you will be placed back at the Queen's castle momentarily. She will ask you to escape the maze.
Okay, a maze. I can do that forwards and backwards. I'm good at everything I do, right? Yeah.
You cannot be sensical in Wonderland.
Sure I can. Why not?
Find another means out.
Okay.
Will you look at that? Walt is watching over us.
Hello there. I'm Walt. I know you think blockbusters are the way to go, but maybe you ought to explore animation to learn the ropes of filmmaking and fall in love with the movies.
I guess when he puts it that way, it's a little more convincing, but still, dragging Walt back from the dead in some kind of warped fantasy in Wonderland, that's not changing my mind. You're gonna have to do better than that, Mr. Cheshire Cat. I want to be Ridley Scott. I can name off so many people I would rather be than an animator, okay? Right now, I just want to get out of here. You aren't helping the Hatter, none of you speaking in rhyme, nobody is helping me. She was back at the Queen of Hearts Palace. Outside in the garden, she saw a maze ahead. Within it, the playing cards shouted everything bad everyone had ever told me, that is, told Alice. I should play into old-fashioned stereotypes and marry a troll to be like the men I admire because women have no value making it on their own. The only reason my work wasn't as great as someone else's was always because it had a female name on it, or my name, and way too many things I wish I could block out of my mind. Never depend on fake friends or anyone else in your career. In reality, and in Wonderland, remember the shallowest of humans are trolls too. Only you can save yourself. Only you will make your dream career happen.
In my garden, you shall run. For your worth is nothing without a troll, young one. The tightrope tightens, the nightmare begun. Your mind racing faster, your foolish decision is finalized. Done.
Do you like watching every woman you meet succeed overnight, but you?
There ain't no escaping this maze.
She'll say she doesn't
You have
want
nowhere else to
children when
hide.
she grows up.
The world will never accept a girl whose role models are men. Men of different colors, nationalities, and ages who don't look like you.
Off with her head! She's better off dead.
Why don't you want to get married to be like James Cameron?
Your film music is great, but it isn't real film music because it has your name on the credits.
Her school books unread. Trapped in Wonderland, unsuccessful, a spinster unwed. The homework's revenge, it is said. To my Rapunzel tower, locked for eternity you go.
You admire James Horner, you say?
Get married while you're still desirable.
A fairy tale prince shall show. Don't call out his name.
Girls who look like you don't win music Oscars.
He's in this for fame. Your rescue means little to him, you know.
Why don't you give up now and study something boring at college? Get a real job.
Prince Charming in appearance, some may be, but the shallow of humans are trolls too. Have fun in your perpetual imprisonment. Listen to your friends, little girl. You can't do as you please in my town.
You will never be like Peter Jackson.
At the very least, you must be seen holding hands with a famous troll boyfriend.
You know the answer, my sweet nameless girl. You will marry a troll.
Film franchises aren't given to bimbos, and the world decided you are a bimbo.
A star's worth is only measured in the clothing she isn't wearing.
You have no name anymore. Time to marry a powerful troll name.
How will you ever make money without marrying a troll?
The only movies you'll ever direct are chick flicks.
Someone rescue me! Like a fairy tale. Anyone? Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? Anyone here? Where are you? Prince Charming is a fraud! Someone else, please save me from this castle.
I can't rescue you. You aren't, like, on the cover of Us Weekly.
You aren't on television. You aren't on the cover of a fashion magazine. You aren't a movie star. Your career is a cute idea, little girl, but I don't see you marrying no troll to make it happen. I can't risk my career with a nobody. Toodles noodles, princess failed wannabe. Hasta la vista, baby. I won't be back.
Prince Charming won't rescue me. He's just a loser. Somebody help me. I'm a princess in a stupid fairy tale. Not a cool one either. I'm not someone who can do stuff. I'm a helpless damsel in distress. Will somebody get me out of this castle? Leave it to the Queen of Hearts to have bridal magazines for me. Like, that's gonna change my mind.
My dear, I am here to rescue you.
Really? Last time you disappeared on me. I went looking for you for help. And yet, here I am. I'm another damsel in distress. And in this story, nobody wants to rescue me. What am I supposed to do? Rescue myself? Well, that's a great thought, except my hair is not long enough to be Rapunzel, you know? Do you have any suggestions? You're a magic cat. You should, right?
Do you not see those colored pencils and that paper on the desk?
Yeah.
You must draw yourself out of these perils in an animated short film.
Really, how can I draw when I can barely remember my own first or last name, right?
When you remember your name, you will ride the train. The train journey itself appears differently to each person I aid. The destination is always the same.
That's a beautiful statement to make, but it's a little difficult when I have never drawn in my entire lifetime. Am I supposed to learn to be Walt in, 5 minutes? I'm supposed to be... Who do you think I am? I'm meant to be a live-action, blockbuster film director, not an animator.
Walt said the same thing when he rode the train from New York to Los Angeles. He was returning from Wonderland when he first drew his best friend Mickey, a brown mouse he fed cheese to in Kansas City.
You make it sound so easy. Okay, so what do I do? To rescue myself, I basically draw something short film, right? Okay. The homework's revenge. That's what the Queen of Hearts said. And maybe that should be my film. Let's mix the Matrix, a little Terminator.
And that is why you shall succeed. Because every one of us has a beautiful personality. And you are the beautiful, unique you. Draw the life you know.
Okay, fine. I am Esther, a 13-year-old girl escaping with the only thing she knows. Science fiction, blockbusters, and a little twist of herself mixed into it. Oh, let's put my own music here. I'm not going to direct a film I don't compose the score to. A short film within a longer film, right? The Homework's Revenge. That's not a title I came up with right now. That's the title of the film I pitched to my math teacher when I was 13 years old. So yeah, in this version, the version I'm making, Esther, or you could call her Alice, needs to draw herself out of Wonderland in order to free herself and rescue herself. Otherwise, there's no way out. And then she will solve a Matrix math problem and escape the Matrix and be happily back home. Fictional. 100% fictional, right? Not one bit. For me to become a working film score composer, a person whose film scores were readily available to people who could stream them online, I had to begin hiring myself as the film director. And to regularly make movies without studio budgets, I had to develop a skill set I never had called drawing and animation, or I was never going to have a single film directing credit. Animating my own films freed me from the Queen of Hearts types I met, who were not hiring me. Because I hired myself. I saved myself and the fairy tale that is my life. Leaves fell all around as the space aliens at the same time were aboard the intergalactic scary math ship, and they wanted to come to Earth and tell Alice You don't know how to do anything. You can't solve your math homework. Oh, they were business casual aliens too, with their ties and their sleek denim for Casual Friday.
Ouch!
She ran down the hallway, painted with crayons.
Cat scratch! The cat scratched me! Shh! I can't focus.
Invade.
Ugh.
Earth. Invade. Earthling. Earth. Bad.
The auditorium looked a lot like the real one at her school.
Invade. Earthling. Earth. Bad.
And then she was now in a hot air balloon? None of this made sense. Everything was bubbling and going in circles. It's because the alien crew were sending these radiation space beams of homework problems to solve.
Into the black hole, alien crew.
Ooh, I love black holes.
She was trapped. But then she remembered she could fly.
Turbulence!
She flew up past the hot air balloon, well past it into space.
Are we there yet?
We are here.
And Alice saw the earth below her.
Yeah, we made it!
Look, there's Earth. The universe is ours!
She was scared. But fear is what motivates you to become the best person you can be. It doesn't matter if sometimes you just need to conquer it by doing something that you never thought you could do. In this case, her homework. And up she went. Alice confronted the space aliens directly with her superpowers of knowledge. To multiply a matrix by a single number, you take whatever number it is, and then you multiply it by whatever is inside the box. When you do that, you have another matrix with all 4 correct answers. And then, if you want to multiply a matrix by another matrix, you multiply the first row by the first column and go from there. Hey, I actually know what I'm doing. I solved the matrix.
No, that is the correct answer.
The spaceship blew up, and the day was saved. And Alice escaped Wonderland. And wait, I'm Alice.
Your task is outsmarting the villains with your math skills. They will try to find you. The main bad chap is indestructible. Math is the secret to music. Science is the secret to math. As is the raven like the writing desk. To slack on your homework is ridding you of the puzzle pieces of knowledge for the skills you want. No one can teach you. Open a book and read on your own.
This wasn't the answer she wanted to hear, but Alice knew that if she were to escape Wonderland and come back only by choice, she needed to learn her math. She was trapped in Matrix Land, and an eclipse happened. The Earth was struck by all kinds of lightning bolts, just like in the Terminator, and the sun came out and was on fire. It was near the Earth for the first time, probably the only time. It was scary. The corona of the sun lit up the night sky, and Alice drove off on her super cool motorcycle, her hair blowing away in the wind. The bad guy was somewhere behind her, but she didn't know what she was going to be looking for at all. He was indestructible, the Hatter said. But how? The snow fell from the sky, and she began racing across the ice.
This is Aunt Daisy. Leave a message.
Aunt Daisy didn't answer. Was she taken by the bad guy? She probably was. Maybe Aunt Daisy didn't remember how to do a matrix homework assignment. Maybe she didn't remember long division. But Alice would. Oh no, the shadow people. Shadow people dancing on her disco ball. At one time they were all human, like you and me. But they lost their way. Alice ran away again, with a glass slipper on each foot.
Look into the light.
The shadow people were human all along. If they were able to be saved back to their old selves, Alice knew that she could escape Wonderland. She sped away. And then she saw Larry's used junk. She drove her motorcycle through the magical television set, and she was inside the cables. Out she went. She didn't know where the cables would end up, but they ended up in a really tall skyscraper. The bad guy popped out too. And up she went, up all the stairs. She ran away, leaving her motorcycle on the first floor. She tried to run, but she was cornered, or so she thought. And then she jumped from each terrace to the next terrace. And she jumped again. But the bad guy, he had battery energy. He wasn't human.
You can't help yourself. You didn't learn your math. I'll be back.
And then she was taken to the questioning room. The shadow people had gotten her. As I neared the end of reading Alice in Wonderland with my cat by my side in real life, I thought about Alice in my version, riding the train back to her destination. In the story, the original, Alice faces down the queen and her playing cards in the courtroom. For my escape from Wonderland, it's a little different. It's inspired by Japanese animation. I was told my only passage into the magical film land was by pretending I wasn't human, where the Queen of Hearts would sniff out that I was not a magical creature called a kami. I know who you are. You there, sir. The silent stranger on the train. Underneath that disguise, you may use others' voices to reflect who you really are, but it's you, Mr. Hayao Miyazaki. I guess I wanted to thank you. I don't know how. I used to watch your films all the time, and I never thought one day I would animate anything. And through you, I have come to see that not all films have to be live action to be, well, good. And in a way, you changed my life. I can't say that I would love animation as much as I do if I had never met you. And through animation, I got to know you. The person who thinks that he can change the world through his art with Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro.
The white rabbit put on his spectacles. Where shall I begin, please your majesty, he asked. Begin at the beginning, the king said bravely, and go on till you come to the end, then stop. These were the verses the white rabbit
Even though
read.
we've never met, I think we were meant to cross paths. And I was able to do that through your films.
If any one of them can explain it, said Alice, she groaned so loud.
Well, look at that. It seems I'm almost at my destination. Do you know how to get off on this train?
You're nothing but a pack of cards. At this, the whole pack rose up to
Maybe we'll get off together, right?
flying down upon her. She gave a little scream.
Wonderland presents itself differently to everyone who visits it. I don't quite understand all of how it does, but I'm glad it does. Maybe we'll meet again someday, sir. Goodbye.
Half of fright and half of anger, and tried to beat them off, and found herself lying on the bank with her head in the lap of her sister.
Are all of you kami? Like in Spirited Away? Please, can I come with you? Take me.
We are going to the magical land of Hollywood Studios.
Well, I'm going too.
You can't come with us. They will know you are a human.
But please, that's the secret of my success, that people will know I am human. Please.
We are Kami. Only we can cross safely.
What about me?
The Queen of Hearts will stop you on the other side.
That's not true.
She will see you if you turn visible.
And so what if she does?
I'll be careful if I were you.
Well, you know what? I'm going to cross anyway. I don't see what the big deal is about being human. All of you pretend you aren't. But at one time, all of you were human. You, the Kami, the Queen of Hearts herself. She totally was.
Lies! You can't do as you please in my town.
And why not?
Guess what, folks? They cast me in a new sitcom!
I'm not like them.
I am making a war drama film.
I'm now starring as the lead in a movie.
And you know what? That is perfectly fine.
My destiny is to become like the men whose movies are passages from their own dreams. In dreams we live eternally. One must be human to dream. And that is my brightest quality. Can't you see? You're not the Queen of Hearts, you're a witch. The Witch of Hearts. Is that something you're really proud of?
You can't make it in Hollywood.
Sure I can. And you have no right to tell me what I can or cannot do.
You aren't invisible anymore. People will know you are human.
Then let them know. Let them know that I am a human and that every single thing I do comes from a part of myself. And suddenly, our leading lady remembered her real name, and through loving herself, she defeated the evil queen.
An ending fit for a wicked queen. I love it.
My name isn't Esther. My name is not Alice.
Do you have your suitcase ready to go?
My name is Nicole, and I know my name.
I am breaking apart into the Matrix. How are you doing this?
Because unlike you, I don't pretend to be someone else. I am human. I am Nicole.
No!
Why, sir?
Because I and this company are now producing the movie you will be directing. You need to be in Wellington pretty soon.
I released my younger self, Esther, to go right ahead back into the Halloween party in her past. That's where she belonged, the past. I'm not Esther anymore. I've grown up. And at some point, you do need to keep in touch with that younger version of yourself, but you can't be that person forever. You have to let go, and I let go. Goodbye, Esther. You will always live in my memories.
The ghost stole their youth. The next morning, everyone looked in the mirror, and they were really old. They were 30 years old, and it gets worse. One person looked 40.
Here we are at the end of the tale. As time goes on in the story, I am getting raspier and raspier by the minute because I am telling the story in real time. Time, like how Father Time in the tale said he couldn't stand beating. Time, like how it's all connected between science, math, and music. The music from Peer Gynt is the passageway to Wonderland. When you hear it, it's not the how, it's the actual hearing. That is all you need. In fact, right now you are in a dream, sir. You will awaken to find yourself changed. A shadow of yourself you are no longer. For when you are ready to come see me and all of my friends here in Wonderland, all you need is one glance into my looking glass as you hear Peer Gynt all around. Goodbye for now. I will make you proud with the work I do in Wellington. Oh, spiders! I love these guys. Spiders, tell him how the real story begins.
Wake up, Alice dear, said the film studio executive.
Why, what a long sleep you've had, he said.
Oh, I've had such a curious dream, said Alice.
And she told him, as well as she could remember them, all of these strange adventures of hers.
It was a curious dream, he said. Dear, certainly.
But now, let's run into our tea.
It's getting late.
But the film studio executive sat still as Alice left him.
And thinking of Alice and her wonderful adventures, he too began dreaming after a fashion.
And the film you are watching was his dream.
First, he dreamed of Alice, who wasn't Alice but Esther, who was Nicole.
He could hear the very tones of her voice.
And see that little toss of her head to keep back the wandering hair that would always get in her eyes.
Still, as he listened, the whole place around him came alive.
He saw the strange creatures from Alice's dream.
The long grass rustled at his feet as the white rabbit ran by.
A frightened mouse accompanied by Walt splashed his way through the neighboring pool.
He could hear the rattle of the teacups as the Mad Hatter and his friends shared a never-ending meal.
And the shrill voice of the Queen ordering off her unfortunate guest to execution.
With eyes closed, he half believed in Wonderland.
Although he knew he had to, but open his eyes again.
And all would change to dull reality.
The grass will only be rustling in the wind outside his studio lot office.
The pool rippling would be the waves of the full ocean on another film set.
The rattling teacups would change to corporate phones ringing.
The Queen's shrill cries would change to the sound of the office in turn.
All the other strange noises would change to the confused clamor of the busy TV shows filming nearby.
Lastly, he pictured to himself how this same young lady he met in the dream was now in time herself a grown woman.
How she kept through her riper years the simple and loving heart of her childhood.
How she would gather about people to watch her Wonderland film.
And make audiences' eyes bright with many a strange tale. Even the eyes of his own. Perhaps even with the dream of Wonderland of long ago.
He knew in her future films she would make them feel with simple sorrows.
And find a pleasure in all their simple joys.
Because she would forever make film fans remember their own child lives in the happy summer days.